Let us discuss today what is upsampling and interpolation. In the earlier lessons, we have seen what is downsampling and what is decimation, right? It is quite reverse to that what we have learned earlier. Upsampling. Suppose I am taking a input signal x of n. This is a discrete time signal. Now I am passing through a upsampler by a factor I. Let me take the output. This is output version of a input after upsampling, right? So this is output version of an upsampler. Okay, input signal x of n after upsampling by a factor I. Now we are getting output y of n, right? Now it is just simply reverse to that. Now what we have seen earlier, now this is equal to what I can write the expression. The earlier we have seen for a downsampling signal. Now the relation is x of, for downsampling we have seen, now n is the time factor. Now it is multiplied by by downsampling factor d. Now here it is instead of multiplying, since it is interpolating, it is upsampling. So we will divide by this upsampling factor I. Okay, where n is nothing but 0 plus or minus I plus or minus 2i, so on, and this is simply 0, otherwise right? Now let us try to simply understand. For our understanding, now bullet point here is for upsampling by a factor I. For upsampling, let me write here, for upsampling by a factor I. Okay, so we add, for upsampling we are adding, or we insert this I minus 1 samples or zeros. So this is the bullet point what we need to understand. So for upsampling by a factor I, so we need to add, so I minus 1 samples are zeros, right? Now what we need to understand here is, here just let me give you the definition of this upsampling. The process of inserting or adding, samples or zeros, or I can say it is zeros to the given discrete time signal is called upsampling. This process is called upsampling. Okay, so in downsampling we are dropping or deleting zeros. For upsampling we are inserting or adding zeros or, okay, for given from the samples. For downsampling we are dropping or adding we are deleting the samples for downsampling. For upsampling we are inserting or we are simply adding the samples. Let us consider an example. Suppose x of n is equal to minus 1, 1, 2, 3. Let me consider x of n. This is x of n. Now upsample given signal, given discretized signal by factor, suppose I is equal to 2, I is equal to 3. Okay, so if I say first one, if I is equal to 2, this implies, what is the thumb rule we have seen? So add I minus 1, that is equal to 2 minus 1, that is equal to 1, zeros are samples. So therefore, upsampling. After upsampling, what is the output we are getting? Y of n. Y of n is nothing but for the given sample here x of n. Now simply minus 1 is there. I'm adding here. Upsampling we are adding. So how many I have to add? 1 0. After minus 1, let me add 1 0 here. Comma. There is 1. Again add another 0. Comma. There is 2. Again add another 0. Comma. There is 3. So this is upsampling version of the given input signal, like discrete time signal x of n. Now where upsampling factor is 2. So we are adding 2 minus 1 zeros. So similarly for second for upsampling phi is equal to 2. So we add so 3 minus 1, that is 2 zeros. Therefore here what is that? Y of n I can write directly simply. Y of n is this minus 1 is there. Let me write here. Here. So y of n is there. So let me minus 1. So we are adding 2 zeros here because I is 3. We are adding 2 zeros. I is 3. We are adding 2 zeros. Let me add 2 zeros. Right. Next let me add 2 zeros. Next 1 is there. Let me add 2 zeros here. Comma 2 is there. This is 2. Let me add 2 zeros. So this is the and last there is a 3 which is left over. After the sample, not necessary to add the zeros. Okay. So process of inserting zeros. Here 1 1 zeros I am inserting in between the samples. Here I am inserting 2 2 zeros in between the samples because this number of zeros is dependent on this sum rule I minus 1 zeros. Okay. Now earlier we have seen the what is upsampling. So n is the time domain. So x of n is input discrete time input signal. Now I am upsampling by factor I. So y of n relation we wrote it as simply x of n by I, where n is from 0 plus or minus I plus or minus 2i so on. Okay, and this is 0 otherwise. Now this is the relation of output or upsampled version of the input discrete time signal x of n in terms of time domain. If what is the frequency domain version of after upsampling, that is called nothing but spectrum we are calling. So if I take if I convert this in frequency domain, so this is x of e power j omega. For y of n, if I convert into frequency domain, it is y of e power j omega. Now the relation in time domain relation between y of n and x of n is nothing but y of n is x of n by a, where n is from 0 to 0 plus or minus I plus or minus 2 so on. Now in frequency domain, the relation between this input frequency domain and output, but I can write this is x of e power j omega into, okay, whatever it is there. Now this scalar factor I is multiplied here. So when a scalar factor is multiplied to the given function, we know it is nothing but the compressed version. Scaling, nothing but scaling, right? So we need to derive this expression. This is very simple. The spectrum of upsample signal is only just 4 lines. It is apart from, unlike downsample spectrum. Okay. So we know. So x of z is the, if I take x of z, it is z transform of, this is z transform of x of n. Now if I try to write y of z, okay, so this is z transform of y of n. So z transform y of n, z transform formula we know it is summation, n is from minus infinite to infinite. Now I am applying z transform, so for y of n I am applying z transform, so y of n into, so z transform z power minus n. This is the definition of z transform y of z. Now y of n, we wrote the relation between y of n and x of n. So y of n is nothing but x of n by I. So I can replace y of n by x of n by I. Now we as it is. Okay. So now here when n by I, if I earlier in decimation we got it is n into decimal factor t. So nd we have taken it as another variable n only or some variable. N by I, if I take it as new variable and I am changing the variables now, minus infinite. Since the limits are minus infinite to plus infinite, now when I change the variable x of, this is n by I, instead of writing one more step, I am simply writing n by I to n if I take. Now n becomes that n into I here. This n becomes what now? This is minus n into, this n will be multiplied here. So this is simple calculation what we are trying to do. So x of n by I, when I convert n by I into new variable n or v, if I am taking v again to avoid confusion, I am simply writing as n only. Now here n becomes, now this I scalar is multiplied here, n by I. There what happened is n by d I got, n into d, when I am taking as n, there in z I got n into d, n by d I got. Now here it is n into I, right? So now here, what is z now? We know z is equal to e power j omega. So let me put z is equal to e power j omega now. If I put z is equal to e power j omega, what is the expression we got? Let me write here. Let me write here. Now summation n is from minus infinite to infinite. So this is x of n. Now z is e power j omega. Okay, whole power minus n. Right? So now j omega, whenever I am trying to write whole power minus n, okay, it is of e power, now n, I is also there. Let me write I inside. I inside. Now what is the conclusion we have said? And try z transform of y of n. So that function into z power minus n I got. Z transform. Okay. So what is that I am trying to write now? So let me give you a simple understanding. So summation, so some function x of n into, okay, some parameter. Suppose some parameter is v here, v power minus n is there. What is that expression I am writing? This is this x of x after transforming. Here limits are from minus infinite to infinite. Small x becomes capital X of this variable now. Here variable is v. Now if you see summation y of n to z power minus n after transformation, y small y is converted to capital Y and the variable is z. So new variable is z I am writing. Here variable is v. The same manner summation x of n into some parameter whole power n. I can write small x is converted to capital X and to this parameter. Now this is the parameter. This is the parameter I am writing instead of z, instead of v. Now this is the parameter e power j omega I. So this is nothing but, this is the spectrum. This is the spectrum or frequency version of the upsampled signal. The spectrum of upsampled signal is nothing but y of e power j omega is whatever I got x of e power j omega into j omega is multiplied by the integrating is the upsampled factor I. Okay. Now we have, suppose if I am assuming input e power x of j omega, suppose this is the spectrum. This is the spectrum I have 0 2 pi. Okay. Now this is the spectrum for input signal x of n. Now if I try to see the spectrum for output signal y of n, the spectrum is denoted by y of e power j omega. So whatever this signal is there, in between the signals, okay. Now suppose if I in upsampling factor I is suppose left is some 3, okay. If now in the spectrum of output signal, we will find I minus 1, that is 3 minus 1, that is equal to 2 spectrums for the given signal. That means now we find same signal is repeated 2 times. Suppose I is 4, now same signal is repeated 4 times. I is equal to 5, 5 minus 1, same signal is repeated 5 minus 1 4 times. Therefore, in general I can say for a upsampling factor I, same signal is repeated I minus 1 times. This spectrum which is repeated, okay, we call this spectra which is repeated in the upsampled version of the spectrum. This spectrum we are calling it as image spectrum. So this imaging is happening just because of inserting the number of zeros. How many zeros I am inserting? I minus 1 zeros. That means for inserting I minus 1 zeros, I am getting I minus 1 images, right? So this imaging we don't want. Okay. So after we are finding additional spectrum. This additional spectrum is because of adding zeros. This images we doesn't require these images. So to avoid this imaging, what we write now, if you see now, this is the signal. So this is the discrete type signal x of n. Now this is output of discrete type signal after upsampling by a factor I. Okay. Now this output. Now this spectrum, if I observe, this is x of e power j omega I got. This spectrum is y of e power j omega we got. Right. If I observe this spectrum after upsampling, spectrum is having additional images. So we don't want these images. So to avoid these images, okay, after upsampling, we are passing through a low pass filter whose low pass filter cutoff frequency is 5 by this factor, right? So when I pass this through, say when this upsampled version is passed through a low pass filter, this filter removes or eliminates the images that has occurred in the spectrum. So therefore, whatever the output we are getting, suppose the output is W of n. Okay, this output, whatever we are getting, it doesn't have any images. So this process of the process of adding this filter. So to after upsampling to remove the images. So this we call it as anti-imaging filter. So just observe here. Okay, this process of adding this filter after upsampling, we are calling it as anti-imaging filter. And the entire there and the sum of, we can just write, and the sum of upsampling and adding a anti-imaging low pass filter is called interpolation. So the sum of adding a low sum I can write, or the process of I can write the process of adding the upsampler to a low pass filter. Process of adding, I will write here, there is a wording language problem. The process of adding upsampler and anti-imaging low pass filter is called interpolation, right? Now let us simply recollect in downsampling what we have done. So if at all we are downsampling, so downsampling, if I am downsampling a signal, okay, what is happening if I am downsampling? Now there in downsampler we observed there are what is the additional, there is overlapping of signal occurring, that we are calling it as aliasing. Okay, so to avoid aliasing, before downsampling we are applying a low pass filter to the given signal x of n. Now this combined process of pre-adding a low pass filter so to a downsampler is called, we called it as a decimation. Now the process of post adding, here just remember thumb rule, we are for downsampling, prior to downsampling we are adding a low pass filter. This low pass filter is to avoid why you are adding low pass filter? We want to avoid what unnecessarily overlapping of signal. That overlapping we are calling it as aliasing. So this filter which is avoiding aliasing, we are calling it as anti-aliasing filter. Okay. So this is avoiding the aliasing effect. So this is the thumb rule what we had to understand. For downsampling, prior to downsampling, we are adding a filter. For upsampling, post upsampler, we are adding a filter. So post upsampling is to avoid the images. These images are occurring because of adding zeros. Here, prior to decimation, we are adding a filter. This filter we are calling it as anti-aliasing filter. This aliasing is happening because of dropping of some signal in downsampler. Okay, so this is the observation what we need to understand. So this is the thumb rule what we have to understand for upsampling and downsampling. Let me recollect these 2 points. So what we have come across is, so what is downsampler? What is downsampling? So downsampling already we have seen the process of down means we are dropping. The process of dropping or deleting some samples is called downsampling. So dropping or deleting samples is based on the downsampling factor is D. So D minus 1 samples we are dropping. So and this the process of adding a filter to adding a filter prior to downsampling process, we are calling it as decimation. So we have seen what is downsampling and what is decimation. Please understand this difference. The process of downsampling and decimation. So for the process of adding a filter prior to downsampling, we are calling it as decimation. Similarly, now what is upsampling? We have seen. So downsampling number of zeros. So adding or inserting number of zeros or samples. Okay. So adding number of zeros or number of samples to a given discrete time signal, we are calling it as upsampler. Now the process of post adding, post means after upsampling, the process of post after upsampling, we are adding a filter. The process of adding, so a filter after upsampling, this is called as interpolation. Please understand the difference between interpolation and upsampling. Okay, so these are the simple points we have observed. And what is the expression we have seen? Let us see. So what will happen after downsampling to the time domain signal and frequency domain? What will happen after upsampling? What is y of n is the output of a signal x of n after downsampling. So relation we have seen y of n is nothing but x of, so downsampling factor is d. So downsampling factor multiplied d to the time version t n. So where we wrote n is 0 plus or minus d plus or minus 2d, so on, and this is 0 otherwise, it is otherwise. Now for the frequency domain, that is the spectrum of a downsampling signal, we have seen this is number of d is the downsampling factor 1 by d times, we have seen summation. Now k is from 0 to d minus 1. We have to remember these expressions. Please remember, for this input signal capital X of e power j into, okay, so sum of shifted, so 1 omega minus shifted to 2k pi times of, so sum of the equally spaced and shifted version and stretched, shifted and stretched. What is the stretched version? So downsampling version d. So this is, we wrote it as the sum of shifted and this is stretched versions, we have seen stretched versions. Okay, so this is the output we have observed. Now similarly for upsampling, y of n is nothing but so this is x of this n, it is multiplied by factor d, it is divided by the applying factor I, where n is nothing but 0 comma plus or minus I plus or minus 2i, so on, and this is 0 otherwise. For the spectrum of the upsampling signal, we have seen it is simply x of, very easy, x of e power j omega into scaling. Scaling is by factor I. So this is compressed version. Okay. So this is the bullet point we have observed. So after upsampling in time domain, after downsampling in time domain, we are dropping number of samples. Therefore, we observed aliasing is happening. Okay. So this aliasing, to avoid aliasing, So we are prior to downsampling, we are adding a filter. That filter is called anti-aliasing filter. So the process of pre-adding this anti-aliasing filter to the downsampler, we are calling it as decimation. And here after upsampling, we observe since we are inserting zeros, okay, additional zeros, number of zeros are based on I, so I minus 1 zeros are added. So since we are adding number of zeros, the time domain signal, now in the spectrum we observed the images. Okay, to avoid that images after upsampling, we are we are passing this upsampler to a anti-imaging filter. The process of adding a filter to a upsampler is called it as interpolation. Okay. Now these simple points are very clear. Please brush up, and if you like, so please subscribe and click bell icon and subscribe such that you'll get next upcoming videos. Thank you.